but having knowledge and doing research, I'll say that you have to build everything brick by brick. You ain't gonna post out a video, throw out a video, and then be famous. And if you are, it's not gonna last long. If you think like everything is a business, you build yourself, you build up everything, and you will make it. You will succeed.
I do want to take this time, just to shout out everybody that's tuned in right now. Don't forget to ask your questions. If you have any questions for Freddie, drop a question, drop a comment. I see some people waving. Shout out to Gina that just logged in.
Yo.
Ricky. Sean. Shout out to you guys. But also, I do want to touch on what you mentioned, being passive, real quick, because it reminded me of something that Will Smith said, and it's y'all might have heard me say this quote before. Will Smith said, "The realism is the most commonly traveled path to mediocrity, and being passive is kind of the same road as, or the same token as being realistic." Right. A lot of people try to be realistic, and it lets them be passive. And you say you let life pass you by that way. You don't want to be realistic. A lot of people tell us to be realistic, and if I had $1 for all the times people told me to be realistic in the things that I wanted to do, one, I'll be rich. Two, I'll be richer because if I didn't listen, then I'll probably be who knows where. So I think realism is for ordinary people, and if you're trying to be an extraordinary person, I don't think you should rely on realism or be a realistic person.
I think realism is overrated, and I think you create what's real. So create what's real.
You create what's real
for this world.
So now I'm gonna start quoting FREDDIE JULEE. You create what's real.
Facts.
So what are some steps that you've taken to improve your production from the beginning when you started making your first track to your latest track? What are some things that you took out of just learning experience to improve your production?
Okay. Learning experience. Well, yeah, everything is definitely a learning process. I mean, to improve it myself, I've definitely improved my delivery than what it was. Like, I have tracks from when I was 15. I can't let y'all hear because they were sounding like not too great, flow wise and delivery wise. And all that really takes is just practice and just writing. So on the writer's part, it's easy as long as you can continue to be creative and continue to find inspiration around you and look at other artists like J. Cole or Kendrick or Jay-Z. I can name a bunch of greats and find the little things that they do to make themselves stand out and take those and recreate those. So I like when Kendrick Lamar uses alliteration, maybe even if it's 2 or 3 words or certain syllables that just make you feel like a roller coaster and go back down. And I take those, or even triple rhyme schemes, like King Los loves doing that. Words that rhyme like the same way, cocaine, propane, something like that. But yeah, I kind of got too specific. But yeah, just learning.
Everything's a learning experience. Hey, shout out to Trell too. He was just talking about Trell.
Facts, shout out to
creating
Trell.
that space, talk about it Thursdays. That's how I met my man FREDDIE JULEE over here.
Thank you.
So, continue to ask those questions, y'all. Continue to pop in. I see some more people. Shout out to Nick. Nick was one of the guests that we had a couple weeks back.
Shout out to Nick.
Hey, so do you often feel pressured when you make music? Do you feel pressure to censor or to sensitize your lyrics? Or I guess the better question is, do you feel responsible to talk about a certain genre or to talk about a certain or relay a certain message?
Yeah, sometimes. And that's only sometimes because like when there's people around you, it can be people who love you, people who don't, people who support you, people who don't. But they wanna see you make it and they wanna see you succeed so badly. But sometimes an image of what anybody wants to see you do, whether they're trying to give you advice or anything, they'll try to make you be a way that's probably not necessarily what you want to do. And so maybe it's like, damn, I got these tracks with bars, but I should probably dumb it down a little bit so people get it. Or I should probably talk about you know, more girls or more
drinking, more commercial stuff.
Or more commercial stuff to be commercial. But to me, that's not a pressure. It's just because it's always said. It's always something that's on my mind sometimes that interrupts me while I'm writing. But you just gotta block those thoughts out and do what you love. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, people will probably love it too, as long as it's good sonically good sounding music.
And I think the main thing that brought me to ask you that question, because when I first started QuiySpeaks TV on the YouTube channel, me and my homie TJ had a conversation about modern rap and the different ways that rap is turning, you know.
Yeah.
And we later came to a conclusion that for a lot of these mainstream rappers, we feel as though it's fair to hold them accountable and hold them responsible for, you know, pointing their listeners and their viewers and their following in the right path in terms of like you said, we got a lot of people that's preaching all commercial, and then we got people that's preaching all of the conscious rap.
Yeah.
But I feel as though there does need to be a balance, because if you're preaching all conscious, eventually nobody want to mess with you no more, because you're just always on the conscious tip. Where if you all commercial, you mainly attracting the younger crowds, and then they're going to get older and they're going to stop listening to you just before the fact that they're not on that wave no more.
You heard
so like
Cole.
1985 I arrived.
Yo.
You already know. Shout out J. Cole, man. He hit home. Man. And let's touch on that just a little bit, because like, did you feel that Lil Pump did you hear Lil Pump's reaction to 1985?
Nah.
Me personally, he basically was coming at J. Cole for coming at a 17-year-old. Where I feel as though he basically missed the entire point of what 1985 was truly about. And I didn't even hear any wrongdoings. I didn't even hear J. Cole even shame this man's name or anything like that. He was basically putting him on to a game that he's a baby in. He's just now in it. He tried to put him on. He tried to give him some jewels and stuff like that. So again, shout out J. Cole. Even though I'm gonna be honest, that interview that they had was trash.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would.
I thought it was gonna be about something totally different.
I thought it was a great idea. Here's what I think about that completely and fully. Like you said about balance. In hip hop, we can just say hip hop because we're in the hip hop genre. We're speaking about it. Since its very inception, there has always been commercial rap about drinks and guns and drugs and conscious. You know, even when you go a little bit further to like NWA and you know, other people, and even big artists like Biggie and Tupac, they show that dynamic where they rap about, Biggie rapped about some crazy stuff, but he also rapped about some conscious things, and Tupac definitely rapped about some crazy stuff and also some conscious things.
Right.
But I have respect for both of them, and I feel like, you know, I feel like it's necessary for artists like that to have that conversation. To be honest. And it showed. I feel like it was important because at the end of the day, it showed that we took it much more serious than they actually did, and it showed that there was no true animosity between the two. Yeah, you feel me? So that it was definitely important. I feel like it was a good idea, good thought process behind it. I just feel as though it probably wasn't executed the way it could have been. But definitely shout out to them too. So you know, what was your best versus your favorite performance? I know oftentimes this may be one and the same, so I'm gonna explain a little bit, because you know, for the best performance may not have been your favorite performance, because you might say, hey, this one was my favorite, but it wasn't my best. Performances in my own?
Your own performances.
Oh, my best and my favorite performance would be performing. Let's go with my favorite first.
Okay.
So, man, I don't know. My favorite performance is definitely my first performance at Club Propaganda. Okay. Because it was my first performance. It was very special to me, and people were really just singing my music. And
where was this at?
It was in Lake Worth, up in Palm Beach, Florida. Okay. Yeah. So people were showing me mad love and just singing to the songs and jumping up and down. So shout out to the Juku boys, shout out to the Buck boys. Man, shout out to I can't think of everybody right now, but yeah, I can't think of everybody, but yeah. So that was my favorite performance. My best performance, I personally think my performance at the Talk About It Thursdays could have been my best. Cause I felt like I was on fire,
bro. That was a dope performance, man. I'm gonna keep saying it. That was a dope performance.
Thank you, bro.
What made that one stand out for you? Besides, you said you was on fire. What made that one really stand out as your best?
Man, because I wasn't controlling anything. I was moving. I was rapping. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't I wasn't thinking of a move to do next. I was literally just being yourself, just being
natural,
me.
Just moving.
Exactly, letting the music flow through me and the beat. So, and I was out of my head on 100%. 100%. So.
Watch Lon Luz just tuned in. She said, I was there, a great performance. So
thank you.
People in here, some waves. Shout out to my little page who just tuned in, J10.
J10, yo.
Yeah. DJ. TJ, my man TJ, we was just talking about him.
Yeah.
Back then I lost my train of thought. I was still talking about the performance.
The performance.
Yeah, I was still talking about it, but I wanted to ask you, were you nervous when you first got up there by that time? Because that was not at all. Was that your most recent performance?
No. I had another one with the in the school.
For the IOTAs.
They
open mic,
and that was cool for me. Shout out to Kid for helping live it up, and shout out to everybody that went on the crowd inside living it up. And also I performed at BSU's last event, just some poetry.
Okay.
But yeah, that event was special to me, man. And I was fearless. I always am when the moment comes. Before that I could probably think a little bit, but I know what I am. I know who I am supposed to be. So there's no fear in my heart when I'm up there.
Do you get nervous? Do you get nervous at all now, or is this kind of just used to it now? It's more of a rush as opposed to nerves.
To be honest, my first performance I wasn't nervous. I'm never nervous now. Like I'm never nervous. It's natural for me to be up there, and if I'm nervous, then I'm doing myself an injustice. Then I'm doing it to myself because I'm not supposed to do that. Those thoughts aren't in my head. Insecurities, I have a lot of other insecurities, but performing is not one of them.
That's what's up, man. A lot of people wish they could carry that trait because even to this day for myself, maybe not no more with Talented Tuesdays, but like when I get on the stage and spit some spoken word. I could practice the day before and I'd be confident. I know it word for word and everything. But as soon as I get up there and I start looking at those people, I start thinking about the wrong things. It's real easy to get nervous. A lot harder to stay confident and stay composed. And y'all get composed is the word I'm looking for, definitely. So I got a couple more questions for Freddie, guys. Like I said, continue to comment. Ask questions, definitely ask some questions for YouTube. Definitely comment. What did you like about this interview? Also, let us know what would you like to see on Talented Tuesdays next. What type of talents? We have a whole lot of talents out there to offer.
Yes,
we had doctors on the show, to actors, to poets, rappers, singers, dancers, you name it. Event planners. Shout out Lexi B Miami. So, I guess my next question for you is. How do you set yourself apart from the rest? Because, I feel like music, not just rappers, but being in the music industry, period, is among those top I want to be like. And like it's up there with professional sports. Yeah. So, what do you do to set yourself apart from the rest as you start to climb and you start to get better and you start to get more exposure? What are some things that you're working on to make yourself different from everybody else?
That's a great question. I think, like I said earlier, you study people who inspire you, but you don't imitate them. you can take with you some of their characteristics or traits when it comes to whatever they do, but you don't copycat them.
Right.
And that's what will make, because you got to be better than the last guy. You know, I got to be better than Kendrick was or is right now. You know, we all got to be better than whoever our predecessors were in order to even make it in the game, in order to even make a stand. So I take, and honestly, allowing yourself to be you is one of the most important things. Allowing yourself to be creative without fear or thought of any judgment or what other people might think. You write what you feel like, and you listen to other genres of music and you get inspired by them, by rock and roll, by heavy metal. Because that's what I listen to too. It's everything, Caribbean music.
That's interesting. That's some good advice too. Be true to yourself. You know, a lot of artists give that same advice. Be true to yourself. Hey, Nick asked how much for a verse.
Man, bro, yo, for Nick, man, ain't no, I ain't charging for no verse, man. You know, real music, so we gotta do a verse together, free for the people.
Real recognize real, right?
Real recognize real. I start charging soon though, probably after the video drop. I don't know.
Get ready to. He said
to
the price is going up.
Price might go up, man. It depends.
So I got one more question for you, Freddie. I ask this every week to every guest I have on the show, and it's basically the red pill or the blue pill. So if you take the red pill, you go forward 10 years, but you got $5 million in your bank account the day you wake up from your 10-year slumber. Where you take the blue pill, you go back 10 years. But you know everything that you know now. Yeah. Which pill you taking?
Man, yeah, I seen that before. Honestly, I feel I'd be mad at myself if I woke up in 10 years and only had $5 million in my bank account, bro. Yo, I gotta have a couple $100 million at least, or some billions, man. I'd be tight. But yeah, so I definitely wake up. But even if it was a larger sum of money, even if it was $100 billion. I go back to the past, and I don't regret a thing, but I just know how much power knowledge holds. This knowledge holds now, and if I was able to imitate, come on, cryptocurrency or anything like that, bro, like I would Bitcoin, like, and not just that, but also knowing what I want to do and how I can do it, and how I could utilize certain things. Knowledge really is power, and to me, that's more powerful than any sum of money that you can give me.
Hey, yeah, that's great advice, man. And it's like, I'm starting to see the results are now becoming more swayed again. When I first started Town of Tuesdays, it was blue pill, blue pill, blue pill. Oh, then I started getting red pill, red pill, red pill. It started getting even. Red pill and blue pill was neck and neck, but as of lately, it's getting back to the blue pill. A lot of people saying, you know, I'd rather go back, and you know, not because I regret anything, like you said, but you know, just because you can do so many things. You can just do so many things differently in a good way. So, you know, hey, y'all, I really want you guys to ask some questions. We're going to take a couple more minutes. I want Freddie, you know, this is your time to plug yourself in. Tell people where they can find you at. What are some things to expect? If you got any new heat dropping soon, let us know.
You can find me on Instagram at FREDDIE JULEE. So that's and at basically any social media site. So Instagram, SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, and those are the 4 social media platforms I'm really focusing on. But FREDDIE JULEE, so that's FREDDIE JULEE. As for new music coming out, you know, y'all just have to stay tuned, you know, because I have a lot of ideas, you know, and a lot of strategizing that I'm doing right now, but I do have a lot of tracks I'm proud of that I feel like I gotta release it before I die. Like if I die tomorrow, I'm like, damn, I didn't get to release that track. Like that's just gonna be on my mind. So there's a lot of music I want to release that I feel like can change the world and change my world too and the worlds around me. So yeah, but yeah, you know, follow me on SoundCloud, Instagram. You know, I'm around.
Hey, so you got any spoken word pieces that you got memorized?
Yeah, bro. I got a couple.
You want to spit a couple for us real quick?
Yeah, facts.
I'm actually gonna get out. I'm gonna get out the frame for you real quick. You got the mic to yourself.
Oh,
so you know, this time of Tuesdays, you know, usually we do have at the end, we have our guests spit something if they have a talent that can be displayed right on the spot like that. So I'm gonna let my man Julie rock out for a couple minutes.
course, man. Thank you.
Yep.
So this one right here, I wrote this when I was in high school, but I upgraded it a lot. And this is the most recent version. It's called Desensitized. If you go to Florida International University and you've been to an open mic or like big events where I've been at, you've most likely heard it before. But if not, then it's gonna be something new. It's called Desensitized. And I wrote this while a lot of crazy things were happening. The road to riches were paved with cocaine bricks, hatred, racism, facelifts, and sadism. The same folk that sang for sweet chariots that swang low, slang dope, are praying for days better, and we swallow falling stars the size of painkillers, so you can't kill us. My black is extraterrestrial off this atlas. Celestial maps construct my structure without knowledge of my corruption, like crack consumption. This super predator was hardwired to malfunction, but mama don't believe the assumptions. I get tired, but I keep running. I get tired, but I keep running. I'm tired, but I keep running. I keep running because I have been desensitized. Desensitized to this dysfunctional dystopia. This might be the last time. My senses are overloaded. Numb phobias opening up my global ozone to solar pandemonium. But see, the world is colder. So cold that I react to death with cold shoulders. I lose sleep and grow older. Please pray for the hopeless, cause I've been losing hope since they left Philando Castile body soulless, and they elected Donald J. Trump into office. This feeling, frustration builds up, and every day it gets harder and harder to conceal it. Anesthetic supply whenever television Fox 5 airs live, cause I don't want to feel it. I died the same night Trayvon Martin died, so I apologize if I'm numb to this feeling. That's why I've been desensitized to the hurt and the pain. Y'all been screeching and preaching for so long, I've been desensitized to the word change. And that's a wrap. Yeah, man, so that's my desensitized piece. I wrote that while a lot of like police brutality incidents were going on, Philando Castile, Alton Sterling, and it was a feeling of frustration and feeling helpless and feeling like you can't do anything. So I wrote down the anger in a poem and I speak it into existence, this feeling that I have of being desensitized. Shoot for the stars, I can't lower my standards for no man, my slogan is real. No man land opened the gates of my hellish arena. I'm feeling like Cena for real. This is a Cinemax movie. I copped it in Blu-ray. The visual seems so surreal, like it's doomsday. Don't get it for popcorn. These trailers is lit. This life getting stormy. I'm sailing the ship. Try not to capsize my capsize. You know this is big. I'm a genius. I know it's my wit. Lyrical Einstein. Yeesh. Blueprint Divino. You see my design. Piling body bags I put in the suitcase. You never gonna stop me. And homie, that's true. Say, take you on a ride. Hop in your car seat. I'm whipping it flossy. They flossing. Canarsie, I am a psycho, kill you smiling like I just won a lotto. Caught me red-handed, I'm flowing like bowels, I'm foul. Move like an owl, a legend, a gaho. See what's around me, 360 Apollo. My mission outside of this pothole won't stop no till I get the mercy in Lagos. Brothers and sisters, gorillas in shackles. Feeling like Adam when gripping an apple. Power flowing through my veins. I don't know this feeling strange. I don't know how to get rid of the pain. Pray to God that I'm staying in my lane. Pray to God I don't trade it for the fame. Pray to God that I make it in this way. Yeah, please do not step on my J's. Yeah, watch me, I hop on the stage. Duh, please do not step on the J's when I hop on the stage. Dude, I am amazing. Please do not step on my J's. Yeah, watch me, I hop on the stage. Duh, please do not step on my J's. Please do not step on my J's when I hop on the stage. Do not step on my J's, or I'm skinning your scalp. You could call that a fade, and I'm taking you out. You could call it a date. Can't bear golden lots, keep your storage safe. That mean I'm gonna pull up, take your porridge away. Friends turn to snakes, they be morphing their shape, so I stick to myself.